Hello everyone, welcome to Visuddha congregations. And the topic for today is the recurrence of the epics. With multiple sources of literature that we have for our mythology, interpreting a certain aspect from multiple data sources could often be ambiguous. Let me give you an example. If I ask you, what is the place of origin of our deity Hanuman, there are four different sources of literature which shows four different origins. One of the literature states he is from the Venkatachalam hills in Tirupati, which is in Andhra Pradesh, the southern part of India. Another piece of literature says he is from Hampi, which is in Karnataka, again the southern part of India. Another piece of literature says he is from the Himalayan belt, which is in the northern part of India. Another piece of literature confirms his origin is from the west side of the Western Ghats. But of course, if we go by today's geographical scenario, we would be surprised because west side of Western Ghats we have absolutely nothing other than Arabian Sea. But of course, going back in time, uh, before the continental drift has happened, the landmass on this planet existed in one solid form. Um, we call it Jumbo Dvipa, which you see on the screen now. Okay, so finally, we have four different places of origin. And which out of this is true? Any guesses? Trust me, all the four. Sounds weird, isn't it? How come one person be originating from four different places? For this, we have to understand how the epic timelines work. Okay, these epics, whether it is Ramayana or Mahabharata or evolution of Varaha Avatara, Narsimha Avatara, Kurma Avatara, whatever it is. Please note that these instances are not something that has occurred only once till date. They have been recurring several times along different timelines. Take a look at your screen. At the moment, we all know that we are in Kali Yuga. And with respect to the visualization of our timelines, our solar year, which is 365 days long, is something that we are familiar with. And of course, to some extent, our lunar year also, which could be more or less in the same range. And the Kali Yuga that we are currently in is 4,32,000 solar year long. Preceding it is Dwapara Yuga, which is 8,64,000 years. Prior to that, Treta Yuga, 12,96,000 years. And even before that, Kruta Yuga, 17,28,000 years. We know our epic Ramayana happened during Treta Yuga, and Mahabharata happened during Dwapar Yuga, and Lord Vishnu descending onto the planet in the form of Lord Venkateshwara happened in the Kali Yuga. These four yugas together form one Chatur Yuga, and there are cycles of Chatur Yugas that happen one after the other. So Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, all these yugas are recurring several times, and the respective epics in these yugas continue to recur multiple times. And 71 such Chatur Yugas form a Manvantara, and 14 such Manvantaras form a Kalpa, which is believed to be one day for Lord Brahma. And then we have Mahakalpa, which is 360 kalpas into 100. So, which is more or less like 1 year for Brahma. As Brahma's 1 day is kalpa, 360 days is like 1 year for Brahma, and 100 such years is considered to be the lifespan of Brahma, which for us is Mahakalpa. At the moment, we are in Kali Yuga, and out of 71 Chaturyugas in a Manvantara, we are on 28th Chaturyuga, and out of 14 Manvantaras, we are on 7th Manvantara, which we call it Vaivasvata Manvantara. And with respect to Kalpas, we are in the very first Kalpa, which is Svetavaraha Kalpa. Okay, that's the reason actually. If you happen to be a part of any religious formalities, the first and foremost thing that we do before we begin something is identify ourselves, express our identity, uh, not just with respect to the name and gotra. We also express the timeline to which we belong to. Um, Next time when you read out Sankalpa, observe this. You say Svetavaraha Kalpe, Vaivasvata Manvantare, Kali Yuge, Pradama Pade, Jambo Dvipe. Of course, if you're in India, if you're in Europe, you might say Saka Dvipe. If you're in USA, you might say Krauncha Dvipe, because now after the continental drift, our dvipas were different. Of course, more details and history on these dvipas I'll try to cover in some subsequent video. Um, our literatures that have been transitioned to us by our ancient sages, and of course, none of us have any clue on how ancient they are, and the information covered in it is from which particular timeline. Of course, with the exception of little hints here and there, we need to be deeply enlightened to be able to understand those aspects. Otherwise, if we have four different source of truths, which shows four different locations as a place of origin for Hanuman, don't be surprised. There's every chance that at different occurrences of Dwapar Yuga, uh, Hanuman would have taken birth at different places. So all four of those epics must be true. So there is absolutely no point in questioning the credibility of the content in such epics just because there are four different sources of data that reinforce four different facts. In fact, with the exception of the supreme gods like Vishnu, Shiva, um, and many other uh, primary gods that we believe, there are several gods that are identified by the role, not as a person by himself or herself. Take a minute to look at your screens. These are four such examples. Talk about Indra in any of, if Indra is being referenced in any of our epics, we are referring to some person who is in that respective designation of Indra. So Indra is not a person himself. Indra is a designation, and there were several people who have been Indra, who had been Indra in the past, and of course there are several other people who are yet to take the position of Indra in the coming timelines. So look at your screen, and so Indra, who is responsible for the nature or ecology, and the tenure of Indra is one kalpa. So now we are in Svetavaraha kalpa. Maybe when we have the next kalpa coming up, we might have a different Indra. And on the screen, you see these are various people who played the role of Indra in various timelines. And at present, the name of our Indra is Purandar. Similarly, Manu, who is believed to be the first king, for the respective timeline, and he's responsible for the governance and the Raja Dharma of that respective timeline. His duration is also one kalpa, and Shraddhev is the current Manu, and there are many Manus in the past. There are many more Manus to come. Similarly, um, Veda Vyasa, who is known for the Ashtadasa Puranas that we have today, and who is also believed to be the father of the Vedas. Even Veda Vyasa is not a person himself. The Veda Vyasa that we know from Mahabharata today, his name is actually Krishna Dvaipayana, and Vyasa is a designation. Krishna Dvaipayana sage has attained that level of supremacy in the sages to be considered one of these Vyasas in those respective timelines. And of course, the time duration of one Veda Vyasa is one Chaturyuga. And if now for the subsequent timelines, if we cross one more Chaturyuga, then Ashwadhama, son of Dronacharya, is believed to be taking the role of Veda Vyasa. Similarly, our Lord Brahma himself is not a person, is a designation too, known for being the creator of the universe. The duration of Lord Brahma is one Mahakalpa, which I explained in the previous slide. Maybe you can just rewind it back if you would like to understand what is the exact duration of one Mahakalpa. There were several Brahmas in the past, and currently our present Brahma is Satanand, and of course, followed by Chaturmukha in the subsequent Mahakalpa, and our Hanuman is also believed to be Brahma for the subsequent Mahakalpas. Have you seen the movie Interstellar, where a scientist from the current timeline travels with time into the future and notices something peculiar happening with the planet? And of course, he brings his insights into the current timeline too. Similarly, there are several astonishing facts in our mythology that reinforces the fact that many people from our history have traveled across these timelines, whether it can be from one Chaturyuga to another Chaturyuga, one Manvantara to another Manvantara, and from one Kalpa to one another Kalpa, of course. And they noticed astonishing facts and came across several people who doesn't belong to the same timeline, but of course belong to a different timeline. Maybe I'll make a dedicated video on this time travel concept from the mythology uh, in the upcoming days. Hope you found this video interesting or at least informative. If so, please like or please share this video, and also please subscribe to our channel, Visuddha Congregations. This would give us a motivation to make more such informative videos. Thank you.